How you doing, guys? Hey, I want to apologize for that last video. I apparently don't know how to record Discord properly. All my friends live in different states, so can't exactly have them appear in person to make it easier on everybody. But yeah, I just want to kind of apologize for that. But I figured I'd still upload the video anyway because obviously it was a theme I'd been working on for all up. I didn't want all that hard work kind of to go to waste. You still got my takes, still got to hear the stories. There were some stories I still wanted to put out for you guys. But, yeah, no. I apologize. We're going to try again. See if I can... Now that I know there's an issue, because I really wasn't paying attention, because most of my audios, I got too complacent. I'm not good at editing and shit, and I've just now started to get into it. So, yeah, no, so I've just started getting into it. I actually just started working on an intro to this thing. It's a weird template intro. It won't stay forever, but it's definitely probably going to be up for a good while, just to make it easy for myself for now, just so I can get more into it. But I'm trying to learn how to separate stuff on videos and things. But no, just sorry, just checking on the upload process of the video you guys watched last week. Well, today as the making of this recording, but you guys get it. But no, yeah. We're gonna try and fix it now that I know there's a problem. I'm gonna do some tests. Put out my own inquiry. But hey, let's get started. I do have a theme for today. The theme is revenge. So shitty, just people getting either. What the fuck do they say? What do the kids say these days? I really don't know. But no, definitely. We'll see if some of these revenges decide that they're justified, not so justified, or hell yeah, fuck this dude, right? Alright. So let's get started, shall we? We'll start off with a fairly light one. So this one's called Petty Neighbor Revenge. I love it already. My neighbors can act rather unneighborly. Not specifically, here I am. I'm already messing up the words. It's been a rough day today after finding that video. Let's talk about that for a moment. What is a video? No, I'm fucking with you. Let's actually get on to the story. So my neighbors can act rather unneighborly, especially when they are having a family get-together. The backstory is they regularly party until 2 a.m. Sunday through Monday. Their guests park their cars awkwardly on the road, so it's difficult to maneuver around them, and they let their dogs crap on the community gardens without picking up. Annoying, but not a hill to die on. I also suspect that the dad is an alcoholic, as I see him staggering up his drive most evenings. Recently he bought a home convertible, or a BMW convertible. I have a Ring camera that picks up part of their drive, both film and sound. I can tell it's his pride and joy by the way he throws out the stats on it when showing it off to visitors. Last night, I went outside to take my bin to the end of the drive, ready for the next day's collection, and saw a key fob on the floor at the end of our drive next to the neighbor's bin. I glanced up his drive and saw the car top was down, so I nudged the fob under his bin with my foot and went back inside my home. I went on my ring to see that the man had driven up his drive and struggled to get out of his car, dragged the bin to the bottom of his drive, and then swaggered back, obviously drunk. He must have dropped his keys in the process. I chuckled and went to bed. Last night it rained hard. I left the house before the neighbor is outside. I can't wait to check my Ring footage later. Update 1, same day, 9 hours. Update 1, because I don't know how to link. I'll keep this shirt. I checked the bin when I got home, and the keys were still hidden. So I picked them up, and the car was gone. So I looked at the ring camera recording, saw the wife came out of her house and walked down to her bin with a bag of rubbish about an hour after I left the house. She walked back up the drive, stopped at the car and leaned in. I'm assuming to check whether the car was damp, and then rushed into the house. The next hour was essentially a lot of the husband and wife going in and out of the house, leaning into the car and screaming at each other. The wife kept screaming, "You promised me," and the husband debating he did it. Then the husband came back out and tried to start the car, spare key, question mark. Started shouting profanity again when it wouldn't start. He got on the phone to someone explaining the damage, and a few hours later, a tow truck took the car away. It's been silent since then. I have the key, not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but I know I'm not going anywhere near them in the mood they were in. I'm imagining dropping the roof down next time he comes back home I'm imagining dropping the roof down next time he comes back home drunk, so his wife can lose her shit at him again when he sees he's done it again. Relevant comments. You are obligated to report this if you have evidence of him drunk driving. I contacted the non-emergency number. Somebody comments that I'm totally not in my right headspace today, fellas. I'm so sorry for that. So he said after the guy saying that he had an obligation to contact the police for him drunk driving. The guy says, "I contacted the non-emergency police last year about the state he was driving and what I saw on my camera, and they told me that the recording would be circumstantial evidence at best. I asked if someone could pick them up while he was driving home, and they responded with, they don't have resources to do that. It was a disappointing and frustrating conversation." Someone else replies, "Throw the dog poop in the car with the top down. People have recommended that, but I'm not sure whether the house has a camera as well. May not be a ring as I have has a camera as well. May not be a ring as I have never heard the tones. I like the idea of messing with his car without actually being caught on camera. So dropping the top or making the alarm go off can be done from a distance and be made to look like the drunk husband accidentally did it himself when he parked up." Okay, so I see what's happening. So the husband seems to be obnoxious, and I guess he just kind of comes home stumbling and drunk. And I guess so what it was is that he dropped his key fob. So the little psh, right? So that happened, and the guy kicks it under the bin. I'm going to assume when he says bin, he means trash can. It's weird how British people have different words for things that, like, I get confused on. It's like, what the fuck's a bin? I'm assuming it's their big ass trash bins that they take to the curb. Stop it, comic. Stop it. No, bad. But no, yeah, he definitely, for what it seems like, he just seems obnoxious, so his idea is, like, I guess, of revenge just by using the key fob this dude has fucking dropped to fuck with his car. It's not bad. It's not a bad idea for revenge, but at the same point in time, it's not, I don't know, I don't really get what this guy is doing to him, to the most part. Like, it doesn't sound like, it sounds like he's coming home drunk. And that's about it. Maybe I skipped through something in the beginning here. Let's go back. All right, so all right, so new update. Well, the car's back. It's sitting on the neighbor's... Oh, wait, hang on. Yeah, no, because the tow truck came, right? So, well, the car's back. It's sitting on the neighbor's drive with the top on. I haven't seen the husband drunk and driving recently. but they may be because his wife seemed to be chauffeur. His wife seemed to be chauffeur at the moment. I was just going to throw the keys onto their drive so they could find them another day, but last night they had another family gathering and didn't turn the music off until 4 a.m. I watched the other neighbors knocking on their door. The cops called, and then when everybody went away, they cranked the music back up. So now I'm going to wait until the next time he comes home drunk, and it's a rainy night. I'm going to drop the top down using the fob. Yep, pretty much. Right. I mean, okay, legally standing and morally standing, not necessarily, but then again, most revenges don't have their moral standards, right? At least not in my opinion. You're not gonna go, he's not putting a whoopee cushion in the car or anything. But no, I mean, hell, I think I'd do that. I would. I totally would. I'm sorry, folks. I'm not the face of morals and justice that you think I am. I wear a mask. That's all I do. But it's okay. It's all gonna be okay. Because this man's gonna have a wet ass for the next fucking while. Let's see. When was this posted? This was last year, so yeah. My man's gonna be sitting there with wet ass. That was a fairly light post. I want us to get in. I've got another very dark one. Hang on, I'm checking the status. Don't yell at me. Okay, I'll stop. All right. Okay, so this is from AITAH. I forgot to mention that last one from Best of Redditor Updates. I just went into this. I'm not here today, guys. I'm so sorry. After I found out that the video had got fucked up, and I'm doing my best to try and see if I could splice the audio to make my friends louder. Yeah, no, I sucked. I couldn't get any of that. I didn't know how to do any of that. But, yeah, I'm kind of out of it at the moment. Sorry. All right. Let's call her. Okay, so long story, kind of short. You will need some backstory. I have an ex-best friend who I forgave more than too many times for screwing me over just for privacy context. Let's call her that thing. For example, that thing had came in and slept with most of my boyfriends, 3 of my boyfriends, which yes, saved me from those dudes, but still not cool. She copied my hair, my makeup, the movie quotes, I would say, to a point it got so annoying. Also, she was like 2 years older than me. But anyways, I still forgave her, as I felt sorry for her for having no originality. Damn, this girl's just going all off on her. Yeah, she's like, fuck this bitch. But then again, you sleep with someone's boyfriends enough times, you stop giving a shit how you think about them. I wonder if she's a top. Find out later, probably. She is my sworn enemy. I am entitled to digs here and there. So anyway, getting on with the specific story, I had been with this guy for 2 years. It says gut, but I'm going to assume she meant guy. He took my virginity. It was a pretty serious relationship. He was a photographer, and I would model for him, and he would get other models too. He had this pretty fancy computer setup, which he edited all the photographs on, with a spiny chair, etc. Important later. So I was pretty much living with him at this point, and the only days I wasn't living with him was when I had a full day at college, and I would stay with my dad as it was closer to my college. That thing knew my boyfriend pretty well, as they went to the same secondary school together, and she was at the time my best friend, so she would come over to his place a lot, have a cup of tea, and chat, etc. You can definitely tell that, again, this is the UK. Once more, this is a story from the UK. One fine day, not that there's anything wrong from these stories to be from the UK, but you could definitely tell with how these guys write that these are from the UK. Or the last one could have been from Australia, but still. Okay, one fine day, I was waiting for him to come back from the university, and I decided to go through his photography album on his computer because I loved looking at his pictures. I loved looking at his pictures. He was very talented. I then stumbled on the album called Skype, which, as I was going through these pictures, was just playing in my head. So I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna look at the album. I clicked on this damn album, pictures after pictures of my boyfriend masturbating online with a shit ton of women, some of whom I knew. My first thought was, these are probably old photos he hasn't deleted. Then, me being the detective I was, I checked the details of when they were taken. They were pretty recent, within a year and a half of our relationship. I was mad. I was even more mad when I found the most recent screenshots of him and that thing on Skype freaking getting it on together. Oh, I'll be damned if I stay there. Now, he had been treating me... Sorry, it's a gremlin. I fed him after midnight. Stab it. Now, he had been treating me way different, especially at this point. He was on a short fuse, shall we say, but I put up with it. But after seeing this, I was ready to leave. I packed all my things and put them on the floor by our bed. I must have went through every damn emotion I ever knew I had. But then an idea came. Came a brewing. God damn this woman. I'm gonna need a little bit more her to write better. I wanted him to remember this breakup as the most memorable breakup he ever had. But I still had like 3 hours left till he came home, and I hatched a plan. I was gonna do a Dr. Evil. Now I rehearsed what I would say to everything he would say to me. I spent an hour looking for his cat. Sadly couldn't find her, but the story still works. Set myself up on his spiny chair, and I set up the computer. So all I needed to do was click the mouse, and the pictures came up. During this time, I thought as well, I probably should send myself some proof of this infidelity, just in case. So I sent the picture of him in that thing to my messenger and deleted my password, etc. off of his computer. Anyways, moving on, I waited on this spiny chair facing away from the door until I heard the front door open and footsteps coming up the stairs. It was him. So I sat up as he walked in the door. I span on the spiny chair, looking directly at him, and said, "I've been expecting you, Mr. C-word." Oh, Jesus. He looked at me and got angry. "Why are you being weird for?" He said. I said in the most sarcastic voice I could muster up, "Oh, I don't know." Click. I pushed the button on the mouse. He looked at me. He had lost all shine in his face. He looked at the computer. He looked at my bags at the end of the bed, and he said, "I'm so sorry. It didn't mean anything, etc. You know, the usual cheating ex, your fault, my fault, sorry, bullcrap." Yeah, I wasn't falling for that. I grabbed my things and walked towards the door. He wouldn't let me leave the room. I pushed past him. He chased after me, etc. It gets better. So I go home. The next day he posts a Facebook status saying how I was crazy and blah blah blah, the same shit he told me about his ex. But publicly, I saw it as he hadn't blocked me yet, and he went to university, and I knew he wouldn't check his phone. Now, I wasn't going to do anything about this status, frankly. I didn't care. I had my dad, may he rest in peace, until I saw that thing had commented on the status. "Yeah, I know, babe," etc. Ooh, the inner demon inside me started brewing, and it made me do evil things. I love this woman. I do. I love this woman. I can't, the way she writes is so fucking mind-boggling. It's screwing with my brain. Oh, dear God. The picture I was so I so happily sent myself of those two fiddling with the ding their didgeridoos, the didgeroos. Her didgeroos. I can't. It makes me laugh thinking about it. Her didgeroos. What the fuck's a didgeroo? Did you imagine it's like, howdy didgeroo. A didgeroo to you today, good madam. A didgeroo to you. A didgeroo. Ah, the glasses fell. Alright. I said, oh yeah, fiddling with her didgeroos. I posted it in the comment section, knowing full well that my ex would not see that post until at least 12 p.m., which I predicted was when he took down the post. Most of his friends, if not all of them, messaged me making sure I was okay, and his best friend, who I did have a huge crush on, who did have a huge crush on me before I met my boyfriend. She keeps putting the C word there, and I don't want to get in trouble. I could say it. I could totally say it. I'm more than willing to say it. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see what kind of audience I build up after a while. Offered me to come to his house party where all my ex-boyfriend's friends were invited. So I got all dolled up like the goddess I was, and was the only woman at this male house party. And by gods, what happened next was the best. During the night, that thing sent me a Snapchat of her at the party with my ex, kissing him, sent directly to me. So I showed all the boys, and then we made a video of all the boys kissing me on the cheek in a specific. No. And a specifically spicy kiss. Spicy kiss. With, you guessed it, my ex's best friend. My ex then had the audacity to send me texts all night, which I blocked. A few days later, he came into my house, begging for me back, telling me that thing was terrible in bed, etc., etc. I told him to F off, and that he should go waste 2 years of her time. He wouldn't go away when I slammed my door in his face, but my dad was home. He came to the door. He's a 6'5" rugby player, build, and black belt in martial arts. Looked at him dead in the eye and said, "You better get off my doorstep before the police have to scrape you off of it," and closed the door in his face. My dad turned to me and said, "I've always wanted to say that," and my ex was never heard of again. Other than when I hooked up with his bestie the second time. I tell my friends this dilemma I had myself in, and some of them find it hilarious. Some of them call me an ass. Am I though? Like, I was sugarcoating when I was telling this story about half off that thing's shit. But at the same time, to me, I'm over it, but I think it's a hilarious story of my past. Should I just stop telling it? Before we go into further thing, I'm going to make sure I'm not crazy, because this story has fucked me up, my word salad up. What time is it? Okay, we're almost at the 30-minute mark. But, okay, listen to this shit, right? So she said, what is it? I tell my friends this dilemma I had myself in, and some of them find it hilarious. Some of them call me an ass. Am I though? Like, I was sugarcoating when I was telling this story about half off that thing's shit. What? OP, come on. I'm gonna need you to chill. I'm so gonna need you to chill. Do me a favor, chill on your words here, man. But no, I love it. I think that's fantastic. Come on. It's not like she did anything awful though. I'm a big fan of it. She's like, I'm gonna take notes. Like, she had this whole setup. First off, she had a 2-parter revenge. right? First off was the one where she sent herself the picture. I'm sorry, a three-part revenge. First off, she sent she did the thing where she sent herself the picture, and then she ended up bringing the pictures up on the computer and did the whole fucking Dr. Evil thing, and she just looked, she goes, hang on, hang on. God damn it. I was waiting for you, Mr. Bond. Right. That's what she does. And that's fantastic. I love it. It's very exaggerated, and that's my thing. I dig it. Then the second time, right? Afterwards, and her ex-boyfriend starts putting up like all these different status posts about like how not even that he's sorry that she's crazy. That's what he's telling. He's saying, "Oh, she's nuts, not me. She's nuts. I don't know why she would want to break up with me." And then she sends the photo, right? She sends the photo. She sent herself because she figured she might need evidence, which good on her instincts. Good on her instincts. And then, thirdly, let's look at thirdly. She ends up fucking getting invited after sending that picture up where everybody's like, oh, our friend's lying. Let's check on his girlfriend just to make sure she's okay. She gets invited to a fucking to the male house party, which if she wanted to, she could have fucked all of them. She could have fucked all of them and nobody this dude would have been fucking destroyed if she really wanted to like nuke his fucking relationships with all his friends. It does seem like she might be fucking the best friend, so she's still coming out ahead there. So I dig it. I dig it. Like, can you dig it, sucker? No, but no. She definitely she came out on top there. Let's look at some comments before we go on to the next post. All right, let's see here. Oh, right. I like this story, but this story wasn't that popular. I forget there's not a lot of comments to this. So this one says, I love your dad's line on the doorstep. You own those losers. And then LP replied, thank you, I get my smart mouth from my dad. And that's it for that post. So, yeah, I did think the post. It wasn't that popular, but I enjoyed it myself, personally. So let's see here. What else we got here? All right. This one's a little dark. Okay. Actually, it's not really that dark. I read it and I was like, you know what? This is some great revenge. So this is from True Off My Chest, and this says, I finally got revenge on my dead father. Before I start, throw away because reasons. I know I'm a giant asshole for this, and I don't really care. I'm kind of drunk from last night still. My dad basically vanished from my life when I was 9. He had just gotten a massive promotion and was going to be bringing in a 6-figure salary. But oh look at that, he met someone younger and prettier than my mother and bounced. He used this newfound wealth to make sure that he never paid alimony or child support, leaving us destitute while taking his new hotter woman and their daughters to the Caribbean and Europe. Well, recently he got cancer, and while on his deathbed, he decided what he really needed to do was find me and give me a non-apology that basically came to, well, this dude, fucking, I'm gonna need you guys to, like, check your spelling. This dude wrote, well, you are rich. What I think, well, you are rich anyway. Well, you got rich anyway, so what's the harm? Ignoring the fact that my mom worked herself to death and my grandparents had to come out of retirement to keep us off the streets, considering he managed to settle my mom with all the debt that went into building his fortune, I called him every name under the book, told him he deserved the painful death he was going to have, and left. After bitching about this to my father-in-law, he informed me I definitely had a case to sue dear old Dad's estate after he died on behalf of my mom for all the money he didn't pay in child support and alimony. And one of father-in-law's buddies from law school has a raging justice boner for those kinds of cases. Well, one meeting with the guy I had and a lot of emails back and forth from my dad and mom, her begging him for money and him mocking her. We file suit once Daddy kicks the bucket, and wholly legal curb-stopping Batman, the judge gives us everything and more. The entire settlement was larger than the total value of Pop's estate. Just on Friday, I got the last piece of his assets. It takes forever to do a full asset investigation. His house, the big beautiful beachfront, because he bought for his second his house, the big beautiful beachfront house he bought for his second wife after she got pregnant with their first kid. She insisted on turning over the keys herself for some reason at the house. So I stood there with a pair of cops, my wife insisted, and watched this homewrecker and her 3 kids hand it over. I then got to listen to her lecturing me about how terrible I am, not arguing that point, for stealing her children's inheritance and stealing from a hard-working dead man. I stood there with a shit-eating grin and just told her, "Lady, I'm just a bad man getting revenge on a worse man." Took the keys and told them to get off my property. The one downside to all of this is my grandfather has been extremely unhappy with my crusade, saying that because of what happened, I met and married the love of my life. I went to a great college for free, and he found a new career path he loves. How everyone forgot my mom couldn't take time off to see a doctor and died because she had to work every day is beyond me. I don't care. I hated what my dad did to us. He and that gold digger he married deserves to at least a modicum of the fear and pain I lived with as a kid. Edit to add, all kids involved are early to mid-20s with a college education, so no destitute children were created in the telling of this story. Edit 2. Also, she trolls offspring all have not unsubstantial assets at their disposal. Daddy-O's estate would have just been one more 6-figure vacation for them. Okay. So I loved this story when I read it. So the guy got revenge. Dad's a piece of shit no matter what. There's a lot of anger. And I'm not going to say it's not entirely justified. But, it's always in these stories, I have to ask, are you just loving the fact that you're so angry all the time? These people, it's one of those things is, okay, yes, mom homewrecker. That's great. Now, he doesn't talk about his life, because it's weird. It's weird. Because it seems like there's still a bit of contact there. At least because the mom's able to get a hold of him, and he just mocks her, right? But it's one of those things where it's yeah, and he's not, I mean, he is, he's an asshole. That's the big thing. It's one of those things. Not saying that he's not entitled to that. I'm not saying that he's not entitled to that money. He absolutely is. His dad was a piece of shit. And the home-wrecking mom, it's one of those things where, to me, it's just at the end of the day, she's the mother, she's got her own kids to deal with, and at this point, you're just being hateful to be hateful, and it's, you turn me off to your, I would love for you to tell the story more, but I don't want to know you as a person. That's where I'm initially coming from, because in the end of the day, I'm just a bad man that likes getting revenge on the worst people. That was a badass line, though. That was a really cool line. I digged it. But no, that was a good story. I dig that. Fucking, yeah, he got, the old man fucking is looking up. We're not thinking he's looking down, but he's looking up and thinking, fuck, this little bastard. And I can see it now that every time he's like, I can just see it. Like, he's going down, he's fucking flipping his dad off the whole time. He's like, fuck you! Ooh. So, let's go into some comments first. Alright. First comment, top comment says, Lady, I'm just a bad man getting revenge on a worse man. Yes, I know I'm an asshole. Fucking savage. Karma at its finest. OP responds with that, said, literally my only snappy comeback ever. Someone replies and says, I mean, not gonna lie, pretty fucking badass line. OP replies, thanks. Somebody, next highest comment, fuck him. I had a shitty father. I have goosebumps and I'm so fucking happy for you. You make me so proud for saying similar things to my dad. Fuck his bitch ass second wife too. Thanks, man. I hope you find peace in spite of your dad. OP responds to that. I actually can relate to this. I relate to this a lot. My dad walked out like I wasn't even born yet. He walked out. He looked at my mom, the mask she wore. She was just like, dude, no, just absolutely not. I will not have a faceless child. And I'm sad because, as you can see, I'm still trying to imitate a face. I have glasses, hat. I try to give myself features, everybody. I try. But sometimes it's just, we're born with this. We're born with it. I can't help it. But, no, I relate to this. My father walked out on me and my mom when it was this. And then my brother's dad came along, and he's just been dad ever since. So I get it. Fuck this dude. Fuck him to hell. All right. Tell him to go suck a big old ending one right there. So, all right, let's see here. All right, so this is a famous one, and I'm gonna tell the story. I might tell the story twice because I want to do an iconic Reddit story with my friends. So let's see here. My very good friend made some slightly dumb mistakes and sent some pictures to someone that she reasonably thought she could trust, but not knowing much more than his first name, his scream name, and roughly where he lived and the type of work he did. This is on Pro Revenge, by the way. Let's restart here. Okay, so Pro Revenge. Threaten my friend with revenge porn? I'll ruin your whole damn life. One of my favorite Reddit stories of all time. Said, my very good friend made some slightly dumb mistakes and sent some pictures to someone that she reasonably thought she could trust, but not knowing much more than his first name, his screen name, and roughly where he lived and the type of work he did. He's not in our country, but had indicated that he would be traveling for work to near us shortly, and they had made some plans to meet. And when she got some red flags and backed out, the dude threatened to publish these pictures online. I am, incidentally, an attorney. So some searching later and gathering up any pictures he sent her of him that could possibly identify him. His online handle led me to a TikTok page, which led me to an Instagram page with his name on it. This led to a LinkedIn page with his place of work, matched a picture he sent with a branded polo he was wearing. Some more searching got me the email of the CEO, VP of HR, operations manager, and public relations manager. I just fired off an email on behalf of my client off the screenshots of him threatening revenge porn, snippets of the conversation showing that the username while he sent that exact picture of him wearing his company's branded apparel, links to how I know it's him, along with pictures he sent her of his motorcycle with the license plate showing as further proof it is him. I am also included screenshots of him discussing a workplace incident that was time-stamped, along with the piece of dialogue discussing how he had sex with an ex at his place of work and discussing plans to have sex with her in his office as well. I also included a picture he sent her showing his work laptop with his entire Outlook calendar, along with proprietary information, which he sent to prove he was busy, along with other pictures he took of his workplace with non-consenting employees. I further informed his employer that I will be forwarding all this information to them law enforcement, since he had indicated that he would be traveling to the United States soon, we'll also forward this to the local office of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, as since my client is a U.S. citizen on U.S. soil and these threats constitute a federal crime, so that they can continue with his employment. So should they continue with his employment and continue with their plans to send him to the United States for work, I will ensure on behalf of my client that federal law enforcement is waiting for him on arrival, which I will do as one of the assistant U.S. attorneys for this region is a law school buddy of mine. Since I have his license plate number, I will know where he lives and will be contacting his local authorities. You dumb motherfucker, thinking you were hiding around anonymity, thinking you could threaten my friend? It took me 45 minutes to destroy your life. So, that is fantastic. You know what? I never understand how easy it is for people to find information on others. Like, how? How do you find all this shit? Like, at most I could do was look up my bio dad's fucking original arrest record, and I had to pay money to do that. I still don't know how to do it otherwise. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's weird. It's strange. Like, how you are able to go that far. And hey, good on you. Like, this dude fucked around and found out. You fucked with her friend, and now she's about to fuck with you. Like, I don't understand. And dudes that do this, come on, guys. Does this not seem like much? Like, to me, that seems like so much work. Like, trying to threaten somebody with revenge porn? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, there's no way in hell why anybody would think that's okay. I don't get it. Even if we take out the right and wrong morals of it, it seems like so much fucking work. Why? It's dumb. It's dumb is what it is. Let's see. We're at the 42-minute mark. Let's try to get some comments in, and I know there's an update to this. Okay, so first comment says, I feel like you win 2024. Legit revenge, check. Person's life now super fucked, checked. Done in record trying, also checked. Someone replies to that and says, OP is a lawyer and used tools from their profession. That's a pro revenge check too. Pro bono revenge. And someone replies that I'm not sure if you win the internet with that comment, but you're sure as hell in the running for it. So someone else replies to this, I'm really curious of his face the next day when HR calls him in. Someone replies to that, that's some R nuclear revenge, and I'm all for it. Someone's saying that how this sounds fake. Let's see. I know this has an update. Okay, here we go. Update. Threaten my friend with a revenge porn. I'll ruin your whole damn night. Barely 12 hours later. Before I get into the update, though, I want to clarify a few things from my original post, primarily about the contact to the employer and why some question its truthfulness. While the entire story is true, some details were omitted for various reasons. There are more she/I had in our possessions that did positively identify this individual. Would a lawyer contact his employer like some stated would not be done? Depends. I did not do what I did on behalf of a client who retained me. I did it as a friend to help a friend. And as her friend who was also a labor and employment law attorney, I knew exactly how to squeeze this. And here's the thing. I was absolutely aware from the onset that the revenge porn threat would go nowhere with his employer. Even if I could clearly lay out how the person with this screen name was in fact the person who works at the company. All we had are screenshots. If it was just the revenge porn threat, any employer would go, well, thank you for bringing it to our attention, but even if we accept our employee uses that screen name and we neither confirm nor deny anyone of that name works here, we have no provenance on this. This is just an alleged screenshot of a alleged conversation that could be easily edited and manipulated. Please feel free to pursue this with local authorities, and rest assured, should we be asked to, we will cooperate fully with any law enforcement inquiries. But we have no further comments at this time. And I would say that's what they would, and I know that's what they would say because that's exactly what I would say. An alleged screenshot of an alleged conversation that was allegedly sent under an alleged username that is allegedly one of our employees? Wow, that is a lot of allegedly. Whatever, dude. Call the cops if you're worried about it. We'll answer them honestly if they come to us. The issue wasn't the revenge porn threat. It was the picture of the contents of the work laptop. Because that can't be faked. There's no way for her or me to create a false image of the actual property information on his work computer unless he sent it. There's no way for me or her to have possession of images taken of his coworkers without their consent unless he sent them. The proof here wasn't that this person broke the law. It's that he sent pictures of company employees and property which would absolutely be verifiable by their IT department that yes, this is absolutely his laptop. And that's what would get him fired. So I advised my friend not to block him, to sit back and wait, and not respond to anything, but let him dig himself in deeper. And respond he did. Update. He's been fired. So with now definitive proof that the individual in the online conversation is in fact this person, we'll forward it all to the local authorities in his country, along with his license plate number. They're more than capable of getting his home address. Oh, that's awesome! That is fucking awesome. That is great. That is cool. I love it. 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 I think we're going to end this one on this video, on this story, but to get back to it, to my little thing. Again, how cool is it that this girl was able, I assume it's, she doesn't say, but I for some reason, I get that feeling in my head, but we'll go. This person went to such great lengths for, that is a true friend, that's a ride or die, like, that is, like, whoever she helped, the friend she helped, or the friend who was helped, like, this is, like, you know this person's got your back forever, holy shit. Like, I'm not good at revenge. I suck. I'm more of, like, a blunt force trauma. I'm more like blunt force. I said blunt force trauma, but I'm more like a blunt force object. I just kind of go and break things. But that is fantastic. That's so cool that she did that. And I love how this dude, because this dude was breaking the law. He was. This was not good. This was being coerced into him coming, like, she needs to come with him when he comes to the United States and have sex with him. Like, this was not like, oh, I'm just gonna post these pictures of you because I think it'll be funny. No, this is, bitch, you're going to deep throat my dick and you're gonna like it regardless of how you feel about me. And fucking Law and Order over there was like, fuck you, dude. I got this shit down in the bag. That was great. I love that. That's fantastic. Let's see some comments on that, right? So this one says, I can't believe this first comment, top comment says, I can't believe people didn't understand the proof you sent to the company. As soon as I saw that he sent pictures of company property and employees, I knew he was fired. OP responds, I admit I was a little confused by the whole no lawyer would ever do that. Seriously? You hurt a friend and hand me a way to fuck with you? You think I won't press that button as hard as I can? What is it you people think we do? And then someone responds to that and says, I can 100% believe this. One of my best friends from college is an attorney. He's basically Bruce Banner. You do not want to make him angry. This is literally something I can see him doing with a huge smile on his face. OP responds to that and says, I am amused overall with people being like, that's not what an attorney would do. Send an email? Dude, that's the first thing we do 90% of the time. Someone else responds to that. This is a long-ass thread. Well, OP responds to somebody else and says, and 75% of that 90%, you need to take no further action. And OP responds, absolutely, that is what happened. This is what I would expect. Okay, 1, this is what happened. 2, this is what I expect you to do about it. 3, this is what I'm going to do if you don't. Option 3 is going to be way more unpleasant for you than option 2. So strongly consider option 2, or I'm going to make that decision for you, and you are not going to like that. The vast majority of the work that lawyers do is just sending an email, discussing options, and coming to a mutually acceptable outcome. Most times, a strongly worded email from a lawyer is enough to get the outcome wanted. That's most of what we do. Yeah. So, badass OP. You are fantastic, and I appreciate you like no other in the world. I would like you to be my friend. Can I get you to sue the mass companies around the world? I had the idea first. No. But no, seriously, like this is a badass friend. Like, how do you like this is great. Like that's cool. She helped her friend out. Her friend now probably trusts her even more than before. Like, so that bond is now like fucking locked in, right? Broken fingers together. And now then also she put away a criminal. Or at least got him fired from his job. And at this point in time, every other place, wherever he's at, is going to look at him and say, yeah, we hear about you. We do not want you back. We do not want you in this industry. So this dude's probably going to get fucked for the rest of his life. All right, fellas. So that'll be the end of our story. Our Reddit time together. I'm sorry, I was out of it today. I don't know why I was out of it. My word mouth salad did not work. I even had more things. I was going to go do some like Ask Reddit threads where it was like, what's your best revenge stories? And I was going to go through those. Maybe next time. But I think this is where I should probably end before I make myself look any stupider than I did before. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the last video. I would totally understand if you didn't. Like, I put a lot of work into that video. Or like, that was a video I did a lot of like research for like almost a month. And I'm so sad that it turned out the way it did. So again, I apologize for that video. My friends Fracture and Honey were the ones who joined me on that video. Very cool people. But hey, again, thanks for watching. We're gonna try and do another video tomorrow. I'm going to try and record another video with him tomorrow. I'm trying to figure out how I can splice together a bunch of audio together. Try to figure that the fuck out. But anyways, you guys take care and have a great day. See ya. Awkward silence.